Alrighty guys, well thank you so much for joining us for our first ever live webinar. We're really grateful that you came and supported us during this. This is about as much of a learning opportunity for us as it is to tell you guys a little bit about who we are, what we do, and why you keep getting emails from us. So today what we're going to do, we're going to cover a few things. Firstly, we're going to tell you a little bit about us, about our background, about how we got started doing what we're doing. We're also going to talk a little bit about digital marketing because we sent out a poll a couple of weeks ago and that's what a lot of you said you wanted to hear a little bit more about. So we're going to go through that today. We're also going to briefly touch on what is SFM and we'll go into a little bit more about that later. But firstly, we're just going to quickly do a disclaimer. So everything that we're discussing within this presentation is of our own opinion. So that's basically what we have to be clear is that we're not representing the company or anything like that. It's literally just, these are our personal results and this is what we want to be open and honest and really authentic with you today. Cool. Alrighty, so we're going to share a quick little bit about us. And so firstly, we're just going to tell you a little bit about our personal life, and then Grant will go a little bit more into how we got to figure out, how we got to where we are today and how we got involved with doing digital marketing and what it's all about. So firstly, Grant and I are married. We've been married since September last year, but we've actually been a couple for the past 8 years. So we know each other pretty well by now. And we actually live in regional Australia with our gorgeous border collie cross Kelpie Skipper. She's 5 years old and she's definitely a part of our family. You might have seen her in a few of our YouTube videos. So Grant, do you want to tell a little bit about our background and how we got to doing what we're doing today?
Yeah, so obviously I'm an electrician by trade and Helena's a human resource manager. And it was sort of really good. Like I'm the sort of person who really loves the job that I do. I love being an electrician. But when it sort of came down to, 4 years ago, roughly, I finished up getting a job that I really wanted to get. That higher paying, well-paid job, factory, learning all this stuff that I really wanted to learn about. And I was actually really enjoying it. For a certain period of time, which was really good. But as the case with a lot of jobs and with a lot of people, eventually it just sort of started to become a little bit boring for me. And I started to sort of, as the novelty of the job sort of wore off, I started to see through the cracks a little bit. And I guess I wasn't really enjoying what I was doing too much, even though we're earning really great money. On top of that, Helena was obviously working away. She was in a town about 2.5 hours away, doing a drive-in, drive-out role, which meant that she was staying away 4 nights a week. So we were separate most of the week, which sort of made us struggle a little bit. Once again, both of us earning really good money, but it was just, we started to realise at that point that money really isn't everything, and that we knew that we had a lot more that we wanted to achieve, and we knew that we had a lot more to give, but we weren't exactly sure how that was going to come about for us, I guess. Mm-hmm. So, did you want to go on with that? Or
that's all right. If you just want to talk a bit about how, what was the change for us? What was that turning point where we decided to do something different?
Yeah, well, I guess, I don't know, it's kind of funny because I started having a lot of conversations with a lot of people around the fact that it used to sort of bug me, I guess, in a way that there's so many people out there like myself just working day in, day out. And then there's other people that had these, like I used to always relate it back to the place that I was working, had this huge big factory. The main CEO probably doesn't even know how the thing worked, but he was earning all the money. And it just sort of, I don't know, it just sort of was starting to, I guess I started to get a little bit of an itch. And I remember having this conversation with one of my friends once, and he actually put me onto this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, which is a book that a lot of people have read at this stage in their life, I guess. And when I started to read that book, I realized that there's actually a lot more out there for people just like Helena and I, that are finding that they don't really want to be in that traditional job and in that traditional role for the next 20, 30 years, or however long that may be. And when I started to read that book, I started to slowly wake up, and I just got kind of hooked, and I started reading a lot of books in the Rich Dad series and a lot of other books from people like Dale Carnegie and Bob Proctor and Napoleon Hill and stuff like that. And And just throughout that process, we just started to realize that we wanted to do more. And obviously the fact that Helena is a human resource manager, I started to realize that we could probably start our own company. And because I didn't really want to start an electrical business, I thought, well, maybe we start a human resource management business in our local area. And when we started to go down that road, we learned a lot about business, a lot about what's required. We put quite a bit of money into setting up our systems and our just everything with that business. And we put a lot of effort into it. And it wasn't really that long. Well, it was around the time that we got engaged, actually. And I remember Helena actually said to me at that point, how are we going to go on a honeymoon and how are we going to have a wedding when we've got this business to look after all the time? And I actually had no idea how that was going to work for us, but I knew we'd figure something out. Now, as we sort of got into it more and more, we realized that we had just purchased ourselves a job and it was going to require a lot of continual investment from us for things like rent and employees, insurance and stuff like that. And not only that, it was going to require Helena to spend all of her time there, quit her job and spend a large amount of her time in that business trying to bring it up. And when we spoke to our accountant, they're like, look, if you can turn a profit in the first 12 months, then you're doing really, really well. And it just, the more we got into it, the less it excited us. And we knew that something was really wrong, apart from the fact that we were trying to get out of our jobs by starting a business that was giving other people jobs. So we knew that something wasn't right, but I really wasn't quite sure. And that's sort of when we come across the SFM. And initially wanted to use the SFM's tools and training to streamline as much of our business activities in our traditional business as we could. But it wasn't really that long after we got into that we realized that the whole business that we're trying to start, it just really wasn't the right thing for us and we really needed to stop it. So that's what we did.
That's right. So yeah, as Grant said, he a bit more into that story is that he was watching YouTube one day. He was actually watching a Robert Kiyosaki video, and then that's when an ad popped up, and it basically said to him, I think it actually mentioned Robert Kiyosaki in the ad, and they were basically just talking about this training program that really appealed to Grant, and so he ended up clicking on the ad. And I'm sure that a few of you can relate to that as well, because it's pretty likely that a lot of you would have seen us first on YouTube on a particular ad, and through that you then signed up to receive the 7-day video series hosted by Stu and Jay. So we'll go into that a little bit more later in our presentation, but yeah, we basically decided to become affiliates within the SFM. So we'll talk a little bit more in this presentation about affiliate marketing, what that actually means and what our role is within that process. So yeah, what we sort of wanted to talk about too is that the transition for us is because we, when we first got started, we're obviously both working full time, and how we managed to sort of juggle that with trying to start our own online business as well. And look, it was hard work. Like, we're being super authentic here. It was a lot of work. It meant that in the evenings we would be putting in a lot of hours, but because we were so passionate about it, it was just so fulfilling. Like, we just knew that this was the right path for us to go down, and we're now 18 months down that path, and it's pretty incredible. So anyway, so what we wanted to show you next is a little bit about our business trips. Now, I've put business trips in in like that because what we've been able to do over the past couple of years is to go on some incredible trips that we really do classify as holidays, because we've got to spend them with some of the most incredible people. So a month ago, we were in London, where we got to meet some of our members for the first time, which was really exciting. In late last year, we actually travelled to Perth on the other side of Australia, and we got to do a little quick share on the stage, which was really exciting for us. And then this photo on the right here was actually at Brisbane Momentum Day, which was the very first SFM event that Grant and I attended. And when we attended that event, I actually had no involvement whatsoever. I attended as Grant's fiance at the time, just to support him, because I knew that he was really passionate about this. And that was in December 2016. And now I'm working on this full time. So it really has been a pretty quick turnaround, but just being able to see people in the flesh that are doing this and are actually making something of it and improving their lives for the better was so rewarding, was so motivational. And yeah, live events are so critical in this business. So
we pretty much structure our holidays around
we do
SFM
around
events.
SFM events now. That's it. Alrighty, so now we're going to get into a little bit of the technical. So first things first, we want to sort of talk about that there's no such thing as time is money. It's probably a statement that a lot of us have heard of before. And one thing we just want to say about that is that there's no doubt in our minds that people are totally skeptical, and you probably are too, of internet businesses and working online. And, you know, it was something that we were a little bit skeptical of when we first came across this, because it was something that we were completely unfamiliar with, which then creates that fear, which is when you start to sort of push back because you're not familiar with that sort of situation. So like that idea of being able to create systems on the internet that can make you money while you sleep or while you travel is something that sounds too good to be true for a lot of people. But it doesn't surprise us, because it pretty much goes against everything that we're taught in school, that we're taught from our parents. And that's basically what we're trying to do, is to educate people that it's not a myth. It's not something that sounds too good to be true. It's really quite simple, to be completely honest with you. It's basically a method where it takes the effort out of making money. So we're so used to, you know, turning up for work and getting paid for a certain number of hours that we're doing, and have it really linear, like that sort of process. But what we're trying to promote is that by utilizing the automated systems that we have access to within the digital economy, it means that our business can keep working even when we're sleeping. And because we are based in Australia, that happens to us a lot, because obviously with the time zones, we're generally on a bit of a different time zone to wherever you might be within the world. And so it's really exciting, to be honest, to wake up every morning to be able to see what's gone on while we've been asleep. So
it's all about leverage. Like in your job, your boss is basically leveraging your time, your skills, your freedom. And with a business on the internet, you're leveraging tools and systems on the internet. It's just a totally different way of looking at it. And the minute that you get that idea through your head that time is not money, and that you can earn money completely separate of time, that's when the door opens, I guess. Like
exactly. Yeah. So just a few points I put there. So how can I utilize this automation? That's a question we get asked a lot. So one of the ways you can do that is through affiliate marketing, which we'll go through a bit later in this presentation. You can utilize it for importing and exporting using Amazon and other methods like that. You can also use it to promote your offline business. So being able to, run ads and that sort of thing to promote your offline business, so that your advertising and the exposure of your business is still happening even when you're not physically putting the work in. So they're just a couple of the ways that you can utilize that. Alrighty, so the art of making money while you sleep. So we've sort of divided this into 3 simple steps, just to sort of make it a little bit clearer for you. I might do the first one. Do you want to do the other 2? Yeah. Alrighty, so the first one is the product. So you obviously need to have something to sell, and that can be something tangible or it can be a service. Now, if creating a product sounds like too much work for you, which is what we found.
Definitely for us.
Yeah, when we got started. Some people are super creative, or they've got these really great ideas for their own businesses, and that is super fantastic. And if you do have that, that's great. But for us, like we just didn't have that. So like affiliate marketing was great for us, because it meant that we could leverage other people's products and services and then earn a commission off those, rather than create this product from scratch. And so another way that you can do it is to hire a freelancer to create that product for you. So for example, you might get them to create an ebook about a particular topic, and then you can promote that ebook. So you've paid them to write it in the first place, but then you can promote that if you've got a list, if you've got a social media following, and sort of utilize that in order to get yourself off the ground, I guess. But basically what we wanted to make clear is that you don't have to think of some, insane product or service that benefits your skills, you can actually just leverage other people's products and services in order to get started. And yeah, we just wanted to make clear that there are some very, very successful digital marketers that have never created their own product from scratch. They've just been able to utilize other people's products, other people's services. And then later on, when they've been able to automate that side of their business, they can then focus on what is it that they're passionate about and then get that off the ground at the same time. So yeah, pretty powerful.
Yep. So obviously the next one's going to be the platform, if that comes up. Yep. And in the traditional economy, this would just be like a shop front or a factory or an office or something like that, which you use to sell the product. So with an online business or an internet business, this is quite simple. This can be like your website or your sales funnels and stuff that you that you set up on the internet and leverage. So once again, comparing this back to the traditional economy, like especially for our situation, we were looking at spending hundreds of dollars a week just to rent an office for us to run our business in, or a shop front. And like things like a shop front, for example, you're really relying on the people that walk past that shop through the day in your local town or your city, for people to come into that shop and actually purchase your products. So the internet, again, for us was just such a better option because we can just create websites and sales funnels on the internet itself that don't cost us anything to develop, and then we can actually show that to anyone in the world depending on where we want to target. So it definitely broadens the amount of people that we can reach, and it's just makes the business a whole lot more scalable, rather than just like obviously if you've got a shop and you want to scale up your shop, you either need to figure out how to get more people to walk through your front door, or you need to get yourself a bigger shop or more products, or which just means more inventory, which means a lot more advertising in the traditional sense. And look, the platform, as far as we're concerned, the platform of running a business on the internet just worked out way better for us in terms of being flexible as well. Like obviously if you're got a business in your town with a shop front or an office or something like that, you can't just travel to Mexico and run your business over there, or to London or whatever. Because with our businesses on the internet, as long as we've got our laptop, we've got our internet connection, we can basically run our business from wherever we want. And of course, the third one is the customers. So without the customers, you have no business. And these days, the internet is sort of making people a lot more honest. That's probably not the sort of thing that you usually hear about the internet, but it really is, because like it's so easy these days with advertising for people to just go, look, I'm not really interested in your ad, I'm just going to click straight off it. So rather than just spamming people or slamming ads on a TV or in a newspaper about come and buy our product, it's more you need to provide value to those people to get their attention before you even consider putting a product in front of them. So it's sort of like you'd know yourself if you're watching YouTube, for example, and an ad comes up that you're not even interested in, and it's just so easy to click off it, or if you'd sense that the person's not genuine or something like that, it's so easy to just click off that ad and go away. So when you're talking about advertising on platforms on the internet, it has to be more about actually providing value to people before you even consider a product. And moving forward with that too, people are going to purchase from you if you are good at building authentic, genuine relationships with them. So it's not a matter of just putting a big sign up out the front of your shop or on the TV or in the newspaper, on the radio or something like that, telling people how good your product is and that they should come and buy it. It's like you get their attention, you build yourself a following, whatever that looks like. It might be on YouTube or Facebook or a subscriber list or whatever. Provide them with value, actually build a relationship with them, get them to sort of know you. If they resonate with you, then that's when they'll go through and purchase your products if they're interested in that product. It just makes the customers a lot better. For us as business owners, it's quite good because we can target the sorts of people that we think will resonate with us and would want to buy our products. And once again, the internet just is turned out to be a much better option for us than going down the path of a traditional economy.
Alrighty, so the 2 golden rules of online marketing. So you really have to put in the work, especially when you're starting out. So a lot of people come into this sort of business and think that it's going to be this get rich quick scheme.
Yeah.
And basically our job is to shut that down really quickly, because it's not real. It's not possible. If something sounds too good to be true, then it likely is. We know how much hard work and dedication and an investment of time and of money that it has got for us to get to the point where we are at our business today. And that's basically what we're really trying to inform people of as well, is that even though it's an online business, it's a real business. So you do have you do have to put that investment of yourself into it. So it's just something really important to remember. And the second thing is never to be afraid to ask for help. So we're really lucky that as part of our membership within SFM, that we're a part of an amazing community, and there's always someone there that's going to know the answer to your question, because we've got such a diverse range of people from all over the world of varying degrees of experience within the online business world. And it's for us, it was really really helpful, I guess, because we're not business owners. Some people that do come into this are very, very successful business owners, whether that's they've got another online business that they've already developed, or they've got a traditional business that they've already developed. And they're coming into this just as another income stream for them. Whereas for someone like us who had never run a business before, I had done a business degree at university, but it literally gave me no practical skills on this is how you start a business. So being able to have people there to support you is just fantastic. And that's something that we've been really, really grateful for. And as we said earlier, our holidays are now around business events. So we're going to talk into affiliate marketing now, and what is it? Because it's a term that we use a lot because it's now common within our vocabulary. But if you would have said to me at the very start 18 months ago, what is affiliate marketing, I would have had no idea what you were talking about. So this is us trying to educate as many people as we possibly can today on what it actually is. So basically, you're going to lead a potential customer to a product or service. So if we go around this diagram starting at the top, the affiliate will promote a product or a service through using ads, blogs, online shopping sites. If we then continue to the right, the customer will then click on an affiliate link, which then has the affiliate special code within that link, so that the business knows that this is the affiliate who has referred this customer. The conversions are tracked, which I was just talking about then, and then the affiliate gets paid a commission. So once someone buys from an affiliate, then the affiliate will receive a commission for that recommendation. So a really common example of this is travel bloggers. So if any of you have ever read a blog done by someone who's a regular traveler, you'll probably notice that if they mention a hotel or a restaurant that they ate at or anything like that, often there will be a link highlighted within that blog, which then goes to an external link. And so that basically means that if you click on that link and then you make a purchase through that link, because that particular travel blogger was the one that referred you through to that product, then they're going to get paid a commission as a result.
Yeah, so broken down really simply, what it means is you're leveraging other people's products. So for us, for example, as affiliates of a company like the SFM, we basically just do the work on the front end. And as soon as a person signs up to receive, in our case, a 7-day video series, and they go through and make a purchase within the SFM from there, every single time they make a purchase, a commission just gets credited to us. Mm-hmm. So it's really quite simple. Like it's another reason why we really love this business model is the fact that we don't have to come up with our own products. We tried that. That sucks. We don't want to do it again. And it's just so simple. Like, it's not easy by any means. It takes a lot of work and a lot of change. And probably one of the biggest parts about that too for us, as a bit of a side note, the mindset shift required to become a business owner, especially if you're an employee like Helena and I were. That was our situation. Is quite big. So like it's quite hard to have that shift and to create a business if you're still in that employee mindset. So this business model worked really, really well for us because it took all the hard work and not hard work, but the complication out of out of creating a business for us. All we had to do was work out how to promote other people's products and other people's services on the front end, get customers through the door, I guess, and whenever they make a purchase, we just get paid commissions.
And they're skills that can be transferred into so many different businesses.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, you're going to need marketing skills for pretty much anything that you do. So, so that was really a definite advantage for us. So I want to talk a little bit more about that, is the benefits that we've found by being affiliate marketers. So obviously what we spoke about earlier, being able to earn commissions while you sleep, you don't need to have your own products or services. You can keep earning recurring profits from repeat customers. So basically, if you're part of a particular program where if there's a monthly subscription, for example, well, then you're always going to have that monthly income coming in, because if they're going to remain within that program, then you'll constantly be getting some form of income, which is great.
Income.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, you've got access to high ticket commissions. So within the program that we're associated with, we actually get up to $12,000 per sale, which basically means that there's a less number of sales required in order to get where you want to be, for example. So, you know, in comparison to having $20 sales, you need to sell a lot of products worth $20 in order to get a significant amount of money coming in. So for us, we really were appealed by that high ticket option. And
so obviously high ticket items make scaling a business much, much easier. Like you don't have to go and find 1,000 people to purchase your products every single month. Instead, you get 2 people to buy a couple of them really higher end products, and you've got yourself a pretty healthy little business every single month. And if the goal is to get out of your job, like to replace your job income, selling products that are high ticket items is definitely a much better option, in our opinion, than trying to start some other kind of business, which is selling, say, a book for $20 and you're getting 5% or 10% commission on that. So that's just something.
Yeah. And just finally there, so you can use paid or free marketing strategies for affiliate marketing. We actually had a question sent through from Fred Montano. I'm not sure if you're watching, Fred, but which was about how do you generate free traffic. So there's a few ways that you can do this, and within our community there's some absolute experts within this area, which we certainly are not.
We're
but
not.
You can utilize blogs, you can utilize social media in its free sense, where you can write long posts, for example, that are providing a lot of value, and then putting an affiliate link within that to a particular product. We personally go down the paid method because we do have an advertising budget to work with, which basically means that you're more likely to see results quicker. Once again, there's a disclaimer there. It's definitely not guaranteed, but if you can put money towards platforms like YouTube, for example, which is what we mentioned earlier, is generally where we advertise, it just means that we can put our product in front of so many more people with that paid option, rather than the free side of things is definitely effective if you can do it, if you've got the skills to do it really well. But for us, we just sort of
So just going back to the general concepts of a business on the internet, especially an affiliate marketing business, you just build yourself a following and then put a quality product in front of that following that those people might want to purchase. So the way you go about that is totally up to you. Like, obviously, as Helena mentioned there before, a lot of people like to use those free marketing strategies if they've got a lot of value to provide to the marketplace, and they're going to attract a lot of people to subscribe into their YouTube channels or their Facebook page, or whatever, their email list, because of the quality content that they're putting out. They want to see more of it. It offers a really good opportunity to actually place a product in front of that following and make purchases in that way. Or of course, if for people that are, I guess, less what's the word? Not really able to do that, like Helena and I. That's probably the best way I can say that.
Yeah.
What we much prefer to do is to do like paid advertising method. Obviously, that just allows us to to achieve the results a bit quicker than the free marketing strategies.
Cool. So we're just going to quickly talk through what SFM DEA is, because we actually have some special guests on this call that we want to bring out just so that you can hear from someone other than us about this whole thing. And but if you've watched the 7-day video series with Stuart and Jay, which you would have received from us by signing up to our email list, then you might already have a pretty good idea about what this is all about. But essentially, SFM stands for Six Figure Mentors and DEA is Digital Experts Academy. And it's basically a really quality education program which was developed by Stuart Ross and Jay Kubasek. Stuart likes to refer to it as an entrepreneurial incubator, which I think is a really great way of describing what it is. It basically is this step-by-step training program whereby, you know, people can learn the key principles of online business and online marketing while giving them this opportunity to earn while you learn. And so for us, we were so interested in the training, and by going through that ourselves, that's why we decided to become affiliates and to go down that route, because we were so passionate about what Stuart and Jay had as their vision, as their mission, and we really wanted to promote that to as many people as we possibly could. So that's basically why we went down that road. But so basically it's all about learning the core skills of marketing online. And because, you know, the marketing side of it really is the lifeblood to any business, because if nobody knows that your business exists, then your business is going to fail. You really need to be able to learn how to get people to your product or your service. And one analogy which I really like, and I hope I don't mess this up, but it's basically like saying if you have a water store in the middle of the desert, you need to be able to get people to that store in order for them to buy from you. Obviously it's, you know, it's in the right place, but if nobody knows that you're there, then it's useless basically. So, you know, we talked a little bit about the private community, which you've got access to within this company. And for us, I think one of the biggest things for us that made this training different to others that we'd looked at online is that you really do get a lot of personal development out of it. We have noticed that our personal growth has just been incredible in the last couple of years, and it really has, I don't know, even strengthened our relationship. It's done so much for us.
So yeah, obviously with the community, like we were mentioning before, how good it is to be able to just reach out, because obviously with a business on the internet, there's going to be times where you don't know technical things and you need some help with something like that, which is really great. And it's definitely saved us a lot of times where we haven't known what to do, or we've needed support, or we've been struggling in some area. It's really great to be able to reach out to a bunch of people that are either going through the exact same journey as what we are, or have already mastered it and are leading and training people. But as well as that, you're probably going to make some of the best friends you've ever made in your life. Like that's something that we found as well. Being involved with these kinds of people, obviously they're quite like-minded to what we are. So instantly we found that we can make instant relationships within the SFM and DEA community. And once again, that is something at the beginning of this journey that I had absolutely no idea about. I didn't realize that I'd be making these kinds of friends and building these kinds of relationships with people that are just next level. And obviously for us, when we're surrounding ourselves by those kinds of people, we're kind of changing ourselves a little bit. And that worked really, really well, because now we're getting better at attracting even better and better people into our business as well. And as far as personal development is concerned, your business growth will be in direct proportion to your growth as a person. Another thing that I didn't really understand at the beginning, I just wanted to sign up and live the laptop lifestyle and all that sort of thing. But as we sort of started to get through this journey, I started to find out a lot of things about myself. I found out a lot of things about Helena. And obviously, the more I find out about myself, the more that Helena's got to find out about me too. So it really strengthened our relationship as a couple as well. And that I'm really sort of, like I sort of touched on before, the mindset training and all that runs in parallel with your business, because that transition from an employee's mindset into a business owner's mindset is quite difficult. And it's probably one of the hardest transitions we've ever had to make, So to be able to learn about how our mindset works and all that kind of stuff in parallel with this business is been really, really impeccable, actually. Like, it's been super necessary.
So we've already spoken about it, but where do we fit in? So we are actually affiliates of the SFM and DEA education program. We personally have positioned ourselves at the top of this academy because we really do align so well with the values and the vision and the mission that we wanted to have access to everything that this company had to offer. And it also means that as a result of that, we can receive the highest percentage of commissions. So there's just a couple of photos there of us with Stu in London about a month ago, and then us with Jay in Perth in November of last year.
November,
yeah. Alrighty, so the important bits, this is probably our best slides. So, you need to remember the 3 pillars of any business. So you need to have something to sell, and we've gone into that today. You need to have somewhere to sell it, and you need to have someone to sell it to. So without that, no business, whether it's online or offline, can succeed. And it's so important to remember that if you're not 100% happy with your current situation, with where you are in your job, with where you are in existing business, then do something about it, because you only have one life. And, sometimes people think that's a little bit morbid when we start to talk about that sort of thing. But realistically, for us, we want to make it the best that we possibly can. And it means, getting out of your comfort zone and taking that risk and doing something that is just really going to benefit you in the long run.
Yeah, and it all just comes back to self-awareness, really. Like, who the hell you really are. Like, and it just comes down to being super honest with yourself. At the end of the day, when Helena and I found ourselves in that position where we were earning really good money in our jobs, we had to be, we got everything that we really wanted, but we had to have a moment of sitting down and being super honest and going, well, are we really happy? And we just looked at each other and went, we are not really happy. We need to change something massively here. Yeah. We're not seeing each other enough. We're starting to get bored with the things that we're doing every day. We're not getting enough holidays. We're not, all that sort of thing. And when we sat down and had that conversation with ourselves and with each other, and we were just super honest with ourselves, we realized that there was something wrong. And it just basically left us with no option but to start to change and start to realize what did interest us. And instead of coming up with excuses as to why to avoid that because we didn't want to do the work or we didn't want to go through change and all that sort of thing, we just put our ego back in our pocket and just went and did it. And it's the best thing that we could ever have done. Yeah. Because we now realize that having that mindset and having that attitude towards change is what really makes your life exciting and what really helps you discover who you really are.
Yeah. So what we're going to do now, we're actually going to stop sharing our screen with you guys. So hopefully you can see us now, which is great. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to bring out a couple of our members who we're lucky enough to have on this call with us today, just so that they can tell you a little bit about their personal experience and just so that you can hear from someone other than us within this hour. So we'll bring them out now. So I'll just unmute Margi and Janie. Welcome to the call.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Great to have you on here. So Margi and Janie, do you just want to introduce yourselves, probably talk about how you're connected and how you ended up coming across us and starting your own journey with your online business?
Yep, well Mum, I think you should probably start this because it was you that found Helena.
So it's age before beauty, always. In September 2016, I was watching a TED talk on YouTube.
2017, yeah.
Was it
6 months ago?
Okay.
Yes.
2017. Not so long ago, really. I was watching a TED talk on YouTube and this young woman appeared on an ad in front of me. I think she had a red dress on from memory. And I'll just backtrack from that. A couple of months before that, I had joined another affiliate type marketing program on the internet. I was obviously looking. And I'd handed over a couple of $1,000 and same thing, it was a young woman who appeared on an ad. And I stuck with that program for about a month. I watched lots of webinars. I joined the community of people, but it wasn't right. This young woman was obviously very professional at what she did. She was very successful. She was an Australian. But they seemed to be, I just wasn't fitting in. For whatever reason, I wasn't fitting in. So I got my money back. It was a 30-day money-back guarantee. And then about a week later, I joined another program. This time it was a young American fellow who was promoting drop shipping at the time. And he had a lot of members in Australia. So I thought, well, okay, I'll join this one, have a shot at this one. Again, it didn't sit right with me. So I got my money back. And then I came across Helena on an ad, and I'm thinking to myself, am I doing the same thing again? It was, lots of questions in my head, but Helena was believable. She was authentic. She was believable. And it led me to the 7-day free videos. And voila, when I saw Stuart Ross, there he was again. He'd been on my radar screen about 8 years ago on an ad, and I clicked off it thinking, well, obviously the timing wasn't right. I wasn't looking for what was being presented. But here he was again in front of me, and I listened to him, and everything he said just resonated. And his voice was easy to listen to, as opposed to the first 2 programs that I joined. Their voices just grated on me for some reason, and he was easy to listen to. And so I spent $29.95. I became an affiliate member, and I started learning the program. And I was really excited about what I was learning. And I think it was about 2 weeks into the program, maybe 3 weeks into the program, that I shared it with this young woman here on the screen, who is my daughter, Janie. And over to you, Janie.
So Mum contacted me to say she's joined another something, and I thought, oh my God, another one of these things that she's just going to do and never finish, because she always starts things and never finishes them. So anyway, she sent me the 7-day video series, and I think it was probably from video 1 that I realized this is something, high pressure job in corporate London as an investment accountant. And I've done that for the last 20 years. And I travel 3.5 hours commuting to and from work every day. And for the last 4 years, I have come home completely exhausted, utterly broken, and with nothing to look forward to in my life other than the alarm clock the next morning and going to work to at least see some people I probably want to spend some time with at work, So when I saw these videos, I thought, right, this is it. Something we can do together. So we actually partnered up in this business. We watched all the modules together. I think Mum was about a month ahead of me. And we decided to get together, and that's how we came to the SFM.
Very good.
Beautiful. So, what impact has going through that education and that training had on your life? What's changed since you first went through that 7-day video series?
What's changed?
Go on, Mum. I know what's changed for me. So when I first saw these videos, I just felt there was hope in that this is something that is possible for me. There was a light at the end of the tunnel, potentially. It was a very small light, but it was a light. And I had tried various types of businesses over the years, and I've invested in quite a bit of property, some of it through the 2007 recession. So a lot of it went belly up and I lost a lot of money. Some of it is still there, but it's very annoying. For example, I've just had a call that one of my houses needs a new, the conservatory is completely fallen down. They've renovated it for the last 7 years, and it's going to cost me about £15,000. And I just don't have £15,000 just to pull out my pocket to help, to pay for this. So I'd also tried various network marketing businesses, and as much as some of the products are really fabulous and I continue to use them, I just didn't feel comfortable phoning a friend and trying to push people into something they didn't really want to be looking at anyway. And we looked at starting a business, perhaps a personal training business. I got qualified as a personal trainer because it was an option for me. But when I looked at the finances of what that was going to give me, it just wasn't going to qualify to continue paying my big mortgage and my big car payment. So the SFM was really a hope. But as I've gone through the modules and finished the modules and we've set up our business online, it's very clear to me that this is a business that I can transition smoothly over from a high-paying corporate job into a high-paying online business. You know, obviously there's a lot of work involved in doing that, but I can transition that smooth financial step from one to the other without taking a big dip. So that's the impact it's had on my life. Is just complete clarity that it's okay to continue with this and I will be moving on to something that I'm passionate about.
Awesome. Thanks, Janie.
Well said. Yeah.
Really well
amazing.
said. Really, really well said. I just want to touch on that quickly. That's probably one of the best things too. Actually, I didn't actually think to talk about that through this webinar, but the transition, like it's not with our traditional business, it was going to require Helena to quit her job and go from a standing start in our traditional business, all the while we're forking out to pay rent and stuff like that, and probably run the business at a loss. Like I said, our accountant said, if we can turn a profit in 12 months, we're doing well. Like with this sort of business and with as Janie was just mentioning, Helena and I were both able to, in the initial stages, build this around our jobs. Yeah. And it actually made turning up for jobs that we weren't that passionate about and weren't that interested in anymore, kind of exciting, because we knew what we were working towards, and we knew the more that we earned in our jobs, and instead of just wasting that money or buying some other pointless liability or possession, we could invest it more into our business, invest it more into our education and in ourselves, and put ourselves in that position then where we don't need to have a job anymore. So yeah, that's probably one of the major advantages as well to starting a business on the internet, is that you can do it around your life, whatever that may be for you. Yeah. In our case, obviously, it was having a job, so making that transition really, really, really good.
Yeah.
So thanks, Janie.
Did you have anything to add there, Margie? Or
I think one of my reasons for continuing down this path is getting Janie out of work. I'm passionate about getting that girl out of work because I know how stressed she is. And what was the original question?
What impact has the education had on your life so far?
I think a big part of it is the community, being connected with the community. I feel that I'm a part of something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that aspect of it, being a part of something, and the communication. Yeah.
Because starting a business can be a super the screen's not changing, but anyway, starting a business can be a super lonely process for some people, especially if you're trying to start a business all by yourself. And once again, this is something I really harp on, actually, is the community and how supportive, and how good it is to be around like-minded people. It's like you don't have to go and have dinner with your family and have this conversation again about what's this business are you trying to start, blah, 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 blah. It's to actually make friends and be surrounded by people that are like-minded. They know what you're doing. They understand. Like it's just so, like, it was a big game changer for us as well. Again, like like when we were trying to start our traditional business, we weren't really surrounded by anyone who were business owners and who were entrepreneurial in any sense. And for us to be able to be surrounded, I guess, by, well, back then, obviously it made it really hard to make that transition as well, again, around your mindset. So,
I think the biggest part of our growth has been being able to be surrounded by people who have mentored us into getting to the point where we're at in our business today, because we know that we wouldn't have had that support by going down the traditional business route, and by knowing that, because we are focusing on a global audience, and because, that is such a large part of it, that we know that there's not this strict competition with each other. Everyone's there to support rather than to compete. Whereas by focusing on a traditional business within our local area, obviously you're going to be competing for a much smaller market. Like, it's just, there was just so many things about this that made sense to us, and that's definitely where most of our growth has come from, having those mentors and being able to see people that have done it, and you know, they've been there, they've done it, they've had success, and that's what we can come off for ourselves as well, which is really exciting. Well, thank you both. We really appreciate you coming out on the call. We really appreciate your time and for joining us today. We do have a couple of minutes for Q&A if anyone has any questions for us at all. If not, that's totally okay.
Chuck them in the
just put them in the chat box,
or come out and talk. If anyone feels like coming out and talk, you're quite welcome.
But that's okay. Like,
I'll just add something. Janie said that something about what was the most beneficial part of the training for you. I don't have any technical background, and I've put together the Google compliant website. I actually did that. It was a huge task. Took me a long time, and had I not had the community to make contact with, and the training, the knowledge, you know, that is there to learn, I may never have been able to do something like that. And I may even have stopped it and thought that I didn't have what it takes. But the very fact that I continued and I persevered and was successful in doing that, that's given me the belief that, and all the steps are hard, like learning Aweber, everything is, I'm finding it difficult. I'm not finding it easy, but having put together that website, now I realise that it is just one step at a time. It is just a learning process, and anything is possible. Anything is possible. So for those who are just beginning, wondering whether they can do this, hey, you can. All the skills and the knowledge are there. The help is there. You can do this. Anybody
couldn't have said it better myself, Margie. That was fantastic.
Well,
I think also maybe just to mention, Mum, that you know that you're 71 years of age. You don't look at, so you probably wouldn't realise that, and to do this at that age, having never really had, you know, any of those type of internet skills passed on just through life, you know, it's a feat in itself.
Yeah, it's so impressive, and that's obviously why we wanted to spotlight you both on this call. And I'm actually not sure whether you mentioned at the start too that Margie's actually based in Darwin in Northern Australia, and Janie's based in the UK. So they're doing this long distance and in different time zones. And, you know, if you can think of all of the challenges that can be put on top of starting your own online business, these guys have gone through it. And that's really why we wanted to bring them out on this call today, just to be able to show you that you really can do anything if you put your mind to it. And these two are the best example of that by far. So thank you both. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Champions.
We're just going to finish off the presentation. I'm just going to put a quick link within the chat box there. Hopefully you can see that. And we'll just share our screen for the final time with you. Just to go back, get all this off our screen. So basically today what we want to do is, as our thank you to you, what we're offering you is to be able to submit your application with the SFM. So with that, you get $497 worth of training and bonuses today for $29.95. There is a 100% money back guarantee. Down the bottom there, you can see, you know, we do want you to be absolutely blown away with what we've put together for you for this price. You have 30 days to review everything. And if by that time you're not 100% happy, just ask, we'll give you a full refund. It's totally okay if you find that this is not the right fit for you, but it's really important that if you're intrigued, if you want, you know, if you're not 100% happy, then it's not hard to make a change. And yeah, we really just encourage you to go with your gut. And basically for that $29.95, what we do give you access to is the first module of training within the SFM. You get a phone call with your personal SFM consultant, so they can sort of talk you through what else we have to offer, what your current situation is, and where you want to go with this sort of training and business system. And you also get exclusive access to our private mastermind community on Facebook. So basically what we've done, we've created this private community of our own, which has all our members within there, and we provide additional training resources in there, different videos and that Grant and I have shot to try and make the journey for you easier as you progress into becoming an online business owner. It's, you know, talking through things that we personally had challenges with when we first got started, and we've filmed videos so that we can just, try and make it as simple and as easy for you as we possibly can. But yeah, as we said, if you decide that that's not for you, that's totally okay. The link to submit your application is in the chat box. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to provide you with this recording as well of this whole presentation. We'll be sending that out in the next 24 hours, and there'll also be a link in there to submit your application as well. So did you have anything else to add with that?
No, you have pretty well covered that. Well
Beautiful.
done.
All righty. Well, I'll get out of that. We'll stop sharing so we can see all your lovely faces to finish up. Look, thank you all for joining us today. We really do appreciate it. You know that it's taken some time out of it might be Friday evening for you. For us, it's Saturday morning, but we really tried to get a time that would suit most time zones across the world, which is kind of difficult to do, but I think we've done it all right. But yeah, if you've got any questions at all, you know how to contact us. You can send us an email. You can find us on Facebook, Helena and Grant. You can find us on YouTube, we're Helena and Grant. But other than that, I think we're good. We're done. So thank you all. Thank you, Margi and Janie, once again for coming out. We really appreciate it. And do you have anything else you want to finish with?
We are done. Thank you so much. Thanks
Beautiful.
for turning up. And as Helena said, feel free to reach out. There's plenty of ways you can do that. And we'll be talking to you.
Sounds good. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.